How's it going everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in this video we're going to be discussing the upcoming and highly anticipated Scarif update, which will be here sometime towards the end of this month. Now we know for sure that there will be Scarif itself coming to Battlefront 2, presumably ported over from Battlefront 2015. Now we also know that there is stuff that we don't know about that's going to be coming in this update. So we'll get into what that could potentially be, and also we'll discuss what this update could mean for Battlefront 2, the future of Battlefront 2 after this update, and a ton more. So sit back, relax, as we're going to cover it all in this video today. Now before we dive into this guys, be sure to comment below what you want to see the most in this upcoming update, and if you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars gaming videos. But getting into it now, and Scarif, we all know, was a beloved map from Battlefront 2015 and was the final slice of content we got. It was released alongside Rogue One, so the hype levels were real when this new Scarif DLC dropped, and it did not disappoint, delivering us an amazing space battle outside the shield gates of Scarif, which then transitioned to an intense ground phase on the sandy shores and jungle-esque islands of Scarif. It was an amazing DLC, and it's absolutely no surprise that people are happy to see it return in Battlefront 2 despite the fact that it's technically just reused content. And for all of those of you who did not get to play Scarif in Battlefront 2015, I've got to tell you, you are in for a treat in a couple weeks. Trust me, Scarif is amazing. Now, not only did we get Scarif itself, we also saw two new heroes in the form of Jyn Erso and director Orson Cranek. We got new Shore Trooper skins for the infantry, we got Death Troopers as bodyguards for Cranek, a U-Wing which came to Battlefront 2 in identical fashion, a TIE Striker, and we of course got some new blasters. So we got a ton of stuff, and that was absolutely awesome, and like I said, some of it did transition over to Battlefront 2, but there was obviously a lot that did not, and I think some of it we could absolutely be seeing in this coming update in a couple weeks time. So let's talk about what we could see in the next update for a second. The first thing that I think is 100% coming is the Shore Troopers. Now these Shore Troopers obviously have a very distinct look and are easily recognizable and are instantly correlated with Scarif. Now Shore Troopers are already in Battlefront 2, believe it or not. They're just in the campaign. You get to slice them up playing as Kylo Ren towards the end of the campaign, and obviously you're on Scarif. So Scarif is also already in Battlefront 2, but they probably only perfected certain sections of the map to appear in the campaign. So between the fact that the Shore Troopers are already in the game, the fact that you just can't have Scarif without Shore Troopers, I think that we'll definitely be seeing these guys in a couple weeks time. It's like not having clones in the Clone Wars. Okay, maybe probably not to that extent, but you know, you get what I'm saying. But moving on, given the fact that we did get new blasters in the last update, I would not rule out the fact that we could get new blasters in the next update, obviously in the form of the A180 and the DT29, which would come if Jyn and Cranek did. But I can see for sure us getting these two new blasters for infantry. It would be very good to see, and is something basically all players would love to see, but obviously it's not confirmed at this point. But now moving on, and there's something that I have to address because I am seeing so many people saying this. The amount of times I've seen comments regarding Jyn and Cranek coming in the next update like it's definitely going to happen. It's honestly made me question, you know, where you guys heard this BS, because no, Jyn and Cranek are not confirmed at this point to be coming this month. I don't know what YouTuber told you this. Actually, I probably do know what YouTuber told you this, I'm not going to lie. But no, this is not confirmed. Just making it really damn clear. But I would be very ignorant to say that there is no chance of it happening. There is most likely going to be more to this update than what we currently know, because that's just literally DICE's track record. Since Battlefront 2 saw its resurgence in the past 4 months or so, DICE has been dropping bigger content that we did not see coming. So it's a massive possibility, sure. And because it is a possibility, we're going to talk about it, because even if we don't get Jyn and Cranek directly, there is a big chance we could see content related to them both. So Jyn and Cranek, they were the last two heroes that came to Battlefront 2015 all the way back in late 2016. And they were both very welcome additions to the game, with Jyn being a really solid hero across the board and Cranek being a very different hero, but also being a little bit OP at the same time. But people really didn't care because, it was a lot of fun to use and the game had just come to the end of its lifespan, so people just had fun. Now, Jin came into the game with an A180 blaster that you could configure to make it different. From a rifle to a pistol, you had the creative freedom to use what you wanted. I personally loved the rifle as it was annoyingly satisfying to use. Now, she also came with a sonic imploder, which we already have seen in Battlefront 2 with the Death Trooper, and a truncheon surge, which works strikingly similar to that of the Commando Droid's Vibro Sword in Battlefront 2. So, if they did go and add Jyn Erso to Battlefront 2 in a couple weeks time, then, a lot of the animations would already be in the game. And I think we can all say that, we want to see Jyn Erso in Battlefront 2. Jyn was pretty cool in Rogue One, and as an OT hero, she'd definitely be at the top of my priority list personally. But now, as for director Orson Cranek, he was a very unique addition to the game. Cranek had a DT-29 blaster pistol which actually had to be reloaded, which was, kind of cool. He could also deploy a droid which has a shield and spewed out Dioxis, and an OP armor breaker ability that let you one-shot enemies, and a Wrath of the Empire ability that works a lot like a lot of hero boost abilities that are already in Battlefront 2. So between Jyn and Cranek, DICE definitely have stellar hero choices for the upcoming update, and there is no better time to add them than alongside Scarif. I feel like if we're ever going to get Jyn and Cranek in Battlefront 2, this is the window in which it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, then I think the possibility of seeing these two, like I said, it's long gone. But once again, I am going to reiterate, they are not confirmed to be coming. Again, making it very, very clear. Now, another thing that I just have to mention, as so many people have asked me if I think it could potentially happen, and that being the security droids being added in this update, seeing as, this is Scarif, and this is where we first started to see security droids in the form of K2SO and others. So a lot of people would love to see these guys in Battlefront 2 as Imperial reinforcements. But the thing is, we did just get a new Imperial reinforcement in the form of the ISB agent, and we did get to see a lot of the security droids in Jedi Fallen Order, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people are really starting to talk about them. But I don't think it's going to happen personally. But DICE have surprised me lately, so I'm not going to fully dismiss it. And lastly, another bit of potential content that, people keep asking if I think we'll see it, and that is a Rogue One skin for Darth Vader. Now, given the fact that we do know for a fact that DICE are putting an emphasis on villain skins at the moment, I think this is absolutely possible. And I think it would be a really great idea, as we haven't had any of these villain skins that, they've been talking about releasing since, they said they were going to do it. So this is a big possibility, and I would not be surprised at all if it did happen, because the changes are minimal and they're enough to warrant a skin, and if stars align, this is likely. But I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. We don't know what DICE have up their sleeve. They could literally do anything for villain skins. Now, moving on, and Scarif is not going to include its space phase outside the shield gates of Scarif, which, really does suck, but seeing as Criterion don't work on the game anymore, and they were in control of the flying in Battlefront 2, DICE's hands were probably tied here, and that's why we're only going to be enjoying Scarif on the ground, which is obviously where DICE specialise. So, that's a small downer, but it's certainly understandable from DICE's point of view. And I mean, Scarif is a huge map anyway, and there are some areas that could be extended, and I wouldn't put it past DICE to have altered the map in some way, whether it's extending the map or adding a new area or two. Just so it fits the mold of Supremacy a little bit better. But I have to say, this Scarif addition to Battlefront 2 is going to be pretty huge for this game in terms of replayability for Supremacy, but given all the things that I mentioned throughout this video, this could be a really huge update. And I think DICE would really want to keep this momentum going that they have, and taking a backward step on what should be a big update would be a disappointment. So I completely expect them to have a few surprises in store in this update in a couple weeks time. Almost every update they've done over the past few months has had some big surprises. And honestly, I don't expect any different from this upcoming update. I think we could be in store for something pretty big. But I have seen a lot of people say that, this is going to be the last major update we see for Battlefront 2. Now, this is largely due to the fact that EA aren't going to be making really any money on this game anymore, given how the release of skins is going to work with the Celebration Edition. And the fact that Battlefront 2's community manager, Ben Walk, is no longer going to be the community manager in I think around a month or so, and he was obviously an instrumental part in Battlefront 2 becoming the game that it is today. He really helped hold this community together, but he is moving on from his role, and honestly, I kind of think people are overreacting to this. I don't think for a second that the Scarif update will be Battlefront 2's last update. The reputation building for Battlefront 2 is nowhere near complete, and they are still going to have to continue to improve this game to get more people interested in another Battlefront game if they do go that way with a Battlefront 3. So I do expect this game to see more content over the coming months, and I think people kind of need to just chill out a little bit. So, you know, I think this Scarif update is going to be huge for Battlefront 2, both in terms of the update itself, having some unexpected surprises, and in terms of the future of the game, as I don't think Battlefront 2 is going anywhere anytime soon. But guys, be sure to go ahead and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you excited for this update? What do you want to see the most in the update? Let me know down there. And if you did go on to enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like to help get this video out there. And if you are new to the channel or haven't already, then absolutely feel free to subscribe with notifications on, as there is plenty more to come. But that's going to pretty much do it for me today, so thank you all for dropping by. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you all again real soon.